Hi everybody, welcome back to St. Peter's Preschool Time. I'm Mrs. Smith, I teach in the bunny room, and I'm so happy to see you here. I hope everybody is happy and healthy at home. Today we're going to talk more about apples, but first let's start with our welcome song. Do you remember that sign Mrs. May taught you for glad? So when we sing the part, I'm so glad you're here, you can do that sign. Let's sing our song. Welcome to our preschool time, preschool time, preschool time. Welcome to our preschool time. I'm so glad you're here. Good job. You guys are learning that song really fast. I'm so proud of you. So we're going to start talking about apples, but today we're going to start with a game. Do you remember the game you played with Mrs. May with Willie the Worm? My Willie the Worm's already hiding. Here he is. And how Willie the Worm hid behind some apples that had numbers on them? Well, today Willie the Worm is going to hide behind some apples that have shapes on them. And you're going to guess what shape he's hiding under. But let's talk about the shapes before we start so you know what shape to tell me to look under. Let's start with this shape. This is a shape I'm sure you know. It usually means love. What shape is that? That's right. That's a heart on this apple. A heart. Here's a shape. And it's something we see in the sky. What shape? At night. What shape is that? That's right, it's a star. Good job, star. Okay, now this shape, don't tell me just yet if you know it. This shape has 4 corners, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 4 sides, 1, 2, 3, 4. And those sides, this is special, the sides are all the same length. It doesn't have long sides that are long and short sides. All the sides are the same. What shape now? Do you know the name of this shape? What shape is it? Let me hear it. I heard some of you say it. It's a square. That's a square when all the sides are the same. Now this shape, Mrs. May showed you how to make with your apple pieces, that with toothpicks and apples. Do you remember what shape this is? The one that has 3 corners and 3 sides? That's right, it's a triangle. Just like your bike might have 3 wheels, that's called a tricycle. This is called a triangle. Good job. You made that shape with Mrs. May in her apple structure game. What shape is this? Perfectly round like a ball. What shape is that? Good. That's a circle. Good job, everybody. Now this shape also has 4 corners and 4 sides, but it's different from a square. It looks like a kite in the sky. What shape is that? Do you know it? Diamond. Good job. That's a diamond. Now this one's tricky too. This looks like a square, except this time 4 corners, 4 sides, but 2 sides are long. See the long sides? And 2 sides are short. And if you turn it this way, he looks like he's a door. Do you know what shape he is when the sides are long and short? What shape is that? Do you know? It's called a rectangle. Very good, a rectangle. Can you say that? A rectangle. And our last shape looks like the circle got squished, or like an egg. Do you know what shape that is? That's right, that's called an oval. Oval. Willie took a little while. You might know which one he's hiding under already. Do you know? Oh, I heard somebody say try the diamond. Oh, Willie's not behind the diamond. Where do you want to try next? The rectangle? The rectangle? He wasn't there. Do you want to go with the other yellow shape? This one was yellow. What's the other yellow shape? The star? Willie is there. Oh, he's hiding. Okay, let me put our shapes back. Okay, Willie is hidden. What should we look under? Do you think the square? Is that what you think? Let's look, 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 look. Oh, Willie's not there. Oh, Willie, where are you hiding? Let's see, should we try the circle? Let's go with the middle. Let's go with right there, the circle. Willie, where are you? He's not there. Where else should we try? You want to try the heart? Okay, we'll try the heart. Ah, oh, no, Willie. Okay, where should we try next? You want to try the rectangle? Okay, we'll try the rectangle. Get ready. Is he there? There he is. We found him. Okay, let me put our shapes back. We'll hide Willie one more time. We'll let him hide behind an apple. Willie went hiding. Where should we look for Willie at? What shape is he under? You want to try the oval? The oval? Let's look under the oval. Ah, no, Willie. Where should we go next? What do you think? You want to try the circle? Ah, no, Willie. Where should we go next? Do you want to try the square? Let's try the square. Ah, no, Willie. Willie's really hiding really well this time. Where is he? You want to try one of these? The heart? Okay, let's try the heart. Is he there? Oh, no, Willie. Now where do we hide him? Where do we find him? Do you want to try the star? We'll empty out the top row. Oh, no, Willie. Which one should we look under next? We only have 3 shapes left. The triangle, the diamond, and the rectangle. Which one should we look under? Triangle? Let's see. Hey, we found him. He hid really well that time, didn't he? All right, I'm going to put my shape game away and we'll do another part with apples. Okay, I put my game away. I'm ready to start some other things. Now, when you talked with Mrs. May, you learned that apples can be green. Apples can be red. And apples can be yellow. And sometimes they're not just one color. Sometimes apples have red and green and yellow on them at the same time. But I was wondering, where do apples come from? Where do we get apples from? Do you know? Do you know where apples come from? I heard somebody say the grocery store. Mommy buys the apples at the grocery store. Whoever does your grocery shopping, they get the apples at the grocery store. That's right, they do, but I get apples at the grocery store, but how do they get to the grocery store? Where do they come from? Do you know that? I heard some of you say they grow on apple trees. We get them from trees. That's right, they do grow on apple trees. But where do the apple trees come from? And how do they get the apples? Do you know that? Well, I learned some things. Every apple, if you cut it in half, if you take a knife and cut it across the top, get a grown-up, don't you do it, get a grown-up and you can cut the apple across the top like you're going to eat it, and in the middle, you see those little black and brown, or they're actually dark brown things? See if I can get one out to show you. Get an apple. Oops, I dropped it. They're so little. They look like one of these little things. Did you see that inside the apple? Do you know what that is? That's an apple seed. That's right. Now you could try and grow this apple seed to try and grow an apple tree. But I learned that if you grow this apple seed, you might not get the same apple. If you get it from a Granny Smith apple, you might not get a Granny Smith apple when you grow that seed because the seeds are different inside the apples. So what farmers do, they have a very complicated process called grafting. Can you say that? Grafting? They start with a seed and they grow a tree. And then on a tree that has an apple that they want, if they want a Granny Smith apple like this, on a tree that already has Granny Smith apples, they take a little piece of it, a little branch, and they connect it to that other tree that they started growing, and that's called grafting. That way the tree, when it grows, will grow Granny Smith apples. It's very complicated, and I'm not sure that I could do it. And I'm so glad that we have farmers who grow these apples in the orchards for us. An orchard is where apple trees grow and where farmers grow their apple trees. And I'm very grateful for the farmers because it takes a long time to grow an apple tree. After the farmer starts growing an apple tree, it takes about 2 years for the apple trees to look like this. They almost look like just sticks in the ground. There's one there and there's one here in the front. That's about 2 years for that tree to look like that. And then in another couple of years, it looks like this. It's starting to look more like a tree, isn't it? But it's not big enough to hold apples yet. And then in a few more years, it's just about big enough to grow apples. It takes about 8 to 10 years for an apple tree to grow big enough to grow apples. And when the apples start to grow, they don't just magically appear like that. They don't show up like apples one day. It takes some time to grow the apples on the apple tree too. So in the spring, our apple trees look like this. Do you see this tree, how he's white? There's all these flowers. This is a springtime tree. There's all these flowers that look like this. Let me show you a close-up picture of the flower. See the pretty pink and white petals? And there's this part in the middle that's kind of yellow. In the spring, a tree, an apple tree, will have all these pretty flowers all over it. Now all those flowers, some of them could turn into apples. They need a little help, those flowers, to turn into apples. And do you know who they get the help from? Wait till you see who helps the apple tree. There's a picture on this next page. Who helps us grow apples? What is that? You're right, it's a bee. The bee goes around. Now here's another word for you to learn. Pollinating. The bee will pollinate the flowers. And after the bee pollinates a flower, then it can start to grow into an apple. So all those flowers on that tree will not turn into apples. Only the ones that the bees help will start to grow into apples. And this is how they start to grow. It kind of grows around where the flower was. And there's a little apple. What color is that little apple? Did you know that all apples, when they start, are this color? What color are those apples? All those little apples there are green. Those are baby apples. Every baby apple is green. They start out green, and as they grow bigger and bigger, that's when we get our different color apples, our reds and our yellows and our greens. But how does this get to the grocery store? How do they get off of the tree and to the grocery store? Do you know that? Some workers have to go into the trees and pick them. Now, did you know, let my focus fall in here. Did you know that we have apple orchards near us that you can go with your family and pick apples? And if you go and pick apples, the apples will hang by this little piece here, this little branch that's called a stem, and it hangs from the branch like that. If you go to an apple orchard to pick apples like the workers do, don't just grab the apple, because what will happen is you'll pull the whole branch on the tree down, and then it might fly up and hurt you, and it might hurt the tree. So when you get an apple and you're going to pick it, give it a little twist, and it'll pop off. So if you see an apple you want to pick, you twist it a little bit until you can gently pull it off. That's how you pick apples. And here's pictures of the workers picking the apples and putting them into big boxes. Look at all those boxes of apples. Then, oh, and sometimes, look at this picture. They even have to climb ladders. See that ladder? To pick the apples. Then they take those apples and they might put them in boxes. And you see the truck here? The truck drives those apples to our grocery stores where we can buy them and eat yummy, yummy apples. I love apples. Do you? Let's talk about the parts of an apple. Did you ever look inside an apple? If you cut an apple, now my apple's already cut. If you take an apple and cut him down from the top, the inside of your apple will look like this. If you take an apple and have a grown-up take a knife and cut it this way, here's the top of the apple. We cut it across the top last time. If you turn it on its side and cut it this way, inside is a special shape. Look what you see. It looks like a star, doesn't it? My apple's starting to get a little bit brown because he's been cut for a little bit. There's a star inside the apple if you cut it this way. And inside there, that's where the seeds, if you can see them, I don't know if you can see them, get close. You can see those dark things, that's where the seeds are hiding. So we know about the stem, that's where the apple hangs from the tree. And we know about the seeds. What's this part? The red part or the yellow part of the apple? What is that part there, that part that we eat? Do you know what that's called? That's called the skin of an apple. And some people don't like to eat the skin. They'll peel it off. Or if you're cooking things like apple pie, usually people peel off the apple skin when they make the pie or apple cake. And what part of the apple is the part that we eat, the good part? Do you know what that's called? That's called the flesh of the apple. The flesh of the apple is the good stuff, the part that we eat, that white part. And inside where the seeds are, that part there, that middle part that we don't eat, when we eat an apple, we eat all around the outside, but we don't eat the middle. That's the core of the apple. That's where the seeds are, and inside that core, the apple's not so good. We don't like to eat that part, so that's why we don't eat the core. It won't hurt us if we eat it. If you accidentally eat a bite of the core, it's not going to hurt you. But we usually cut the core of the apple out. So now I have a game. I need your help. I made an apple. I drew an apple. There's my apple. And you can see all the parts of the apple. And now I have some apple part words that I want you to help me put on my apple picture. And the first word I have to put on my apple picture is this word. It starts with the letter S, and it's the word seeds. Do you see my apple seeds anywhere? You do? You can point to them. Where are my apple seeds? Right here I drew my apple seeds. I'm going to put that right next to my apple seeds. The next part I have also starts with an S. It's the word stem. Do you remember what the stem of an apple is? Do you remember we talked about how it hangs from the tree by the stem? Do you see the stem? Go ahead and point to my stem. Where should I put this word? Right there? Right there. Is that the stem of the apple? That's it right there. That brown part that the apple hangs from the tree with. Now the next part I have is another S word. Skin. Skin. Where's the skin of my apple? Remember, the skin is the colored part of the apple. So here's my skin. I know you're pointing to it already. There's the skin. Oh, this word we didn't talk about, but I bet you know what it is. I bet you can see it on my picture already. This word starts with the letter L, and it's a leaf. Do you see my leaf? Point to my leaf. Where should I put the word leaf? There it is. Now, if you get your apples from the grocery store, you probably won't see a leaf on your apple. But if you go to the orchard or get a bucket of apples from maybe a farm, you might see a leaf stuck on there from when they were picking the apples. Here's my next word. It starts with the letter C, and it goes core. Where is the apple core? Do you remember what the apple core is? Do you know where I should put this word? Point. That's right here in the middle is the apple core. We don't eat the apple core. So I'm going to put it right in the middle. And my last word is the part we eat. It's called the F for flesh, the flesh of the apple. That's the good white part that's beside the skin that we eat. And there's the flesh. Thank you for helping me. Guys, you were awesome. Now you know all the parts of the apple. You know what a stem is, what the leaf is, the skin, the seeds, the flesh, and the core. And you guys are so smart. I know you're going to be able to tell all your mommies and daddies and grandmas and grandpas that you know all about apples now, where they come from and how they grow, and you can tell them all about it. But you know what? I think we've been sitting for an awfully long time, and we should get up and move. Okay, friends, did you get up and get ready to move? Get those legs shaking out. We've been sitting for a little bit of time. Okay, reach up like you're an apple tree. Put your arms out. Be the branches of an apple tree. Ready, apple tree? Our song is called Apple Tree, Apple Tree. And this is how it goes. It goes, apple tree, turn around. Good job. Apple tree, touch the ground. Apple tree, reach up high. Reach. Apple tree, blink your eyes. Blink them. Okay, then it goes, apple tree, bend your knees. Apple tree, sit down, please. Good job. You want to do that again now that you know the words? Okay, stand up, everybody up. All right, get your arms ready. Apple tree, turn around. Apple tree, touch the ground. Apple tree, reach up high, reach. Apple tree, blink your eyes. Apple tree, bend your knees. Apple tree, sit down, please. Good job, everybody. That was a great job. Okay, friends, that was a great apple tree move that you guys did. I like your apple trees blinking your eyes and bending your knees. Now we're going to read a story. This story is called 10 Apples Up on Top. Now the author is Theo Lessig, and the illustrator is Roy McKee. I think that's how you say it. It's hard for me to read that writing, but it's Roy McKee. And the author, remember the author, Theo Lissig, he is the one who wrote the words, and the illustrator is the one who draws the pictures, and his name is Roy McKee. One apple up on top. 2 apples up on top. Boy, he's good. Can you balance an apple on your head? I know I can't. He's good. He's got 2 apples up on his head. Look, you. I can do it too. They both have 2 apples. Look. See, I can do. How many can he do? 1, 2, 3. 3. 3, 3. I see. You can do 3, but I can do more. You have 3. I have 4. Look, see now, I can hop with 4 apples up on top. And I can hop up on a tree with 4 apples up on me. Boy, they're good. Look here, you two. Oh, we have a new friend. Look here, you two. See here, you two. I can get 5 on top. Can you? He does have 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 apples. Oh, I am so good. I will not stop. 5, now 6, and now 7 on top. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He does have 7 on top. 7 apples on top. I am so good. They will not drop. Look what he's doing. He's walking across this wire with all those apples on his head. Oh my goodness. 5, 6, 7. Fun, fun, fun. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. But see, we are as good as you. Look, now we have 7 too. And now see here, 8. 8 on top. 8 apples up and not one will drop. Look, they crawled into the window, into somebody's house, and they're taking that person's apples to put on their head. Oh my goodness, and they're good. They can get 8 apples on top. 8, 8, and we can skate. Look now, we can skate with 8. Now look at the tiger. He's over here. He's thinking about something. Oh, but I can do 9. There he is. He did 9. And hop and drink. You cannot do this, I think. Do you think those other 2 are going to try it? Let's see. We can. We can. We can do it. See here? Oops, sorry about that. We can do it. See here? We are as good as you. We are all very good, I think. With 9, we can hop and drink. Look how good they are. They're all hopping and drinking with 9 apples on their heads. 9 is very good. But then, come on. We can make it 10. We have 1 more apple in their hands that they're going to try and put up on top. Look! 10 apples up on top. We are not going to let them drop. That's really good. Look out! Look out! I see a mop. They must have gone into that bear's house. That must be that bear's apples. Does that bear look happy? I don't think so. Look out for the mop. I will make the apples fall. Get out! Get out! You one and all. Look Those apples still didn't drop. Let's see what happens. Come on, come on. Down this hall. We must not let our apples fall. There they go. Out of our way. We cannot stop. We cannot let our apples drop. That's the baby bear. Oh no, this is not good. What will we do? Do you see what's not good? What's happening? That's right. Look out for those birds. They want to get our apples too. They will get them if we let them. Come! We cannot let them get them. Look out! Them up! Them up! Them up! You cannot stop our apple fun. Our apples will not drop. Not one. Look, they got everybody out of the way with this big umbrella. Come on, come on, come one and all. Come, we have to make the apples fall. There's all the ones that want to make the apples fall. And they're saying, they must not get our apples down. Come on, get out of town. What do you think's going to happen? Do you think the apples are going to fall? Let's see what happens. Apples, apples up on top. All of this must stop. Stop! Now all our fun is going to stop. All our apples are going to drop. Look what happens. They're on this bike, and that bike is headed right to what? A big cart full of apples. Oh dear. Boom. They ran into the cart. Oh dear, I hope everybody's okay. Let's see. Look! 10 apples on us all. What fun! We will not let them fall. Look at everybody. They all have 10 apples. Isn't that fun? The end. That was a fun story. I can't balance apples on my head. They fall for me. See, I can't even get to stay for a second. I wonder if you can do it. But I have a silly game we can play. I took a picture of me. There I am. And I have some numbers. All my numbers. I'm going to pick a number and you're going to help me count how many apples we should put on my head. Are you ready? Okay, let's pick a number. How many apples should we put on my head? The first number I pick is 4. Okay, help me put 4 apples on my head. I know I can't do it in real life, but let's do it on the board. Ready? Help me count to 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We did it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do another one. Okay, I'm going to pick another number. What number are we going to get? Oh, let's see. We got number 1. That's so easy. We can put 1 apple on my head. 1. Good job, everybody. Okay, let's do another number. I'm going to mix them up here. Picking up a number. I have number. Do you know what number that is? Say it if you know it. 5. Good job, everybody. Okay, you're going to help me count to 5. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh my gosh, look how tall those apples go on my head. 5. We did 5 apples. All right, let's take our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 apples down. I'm going to pick another number. I'm picking number. I got number 6. It comes right after number 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here we go. Help me count. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh my goodness, look at that tall pile of apples on my head. That's a lot of apples. Goodness me. Let's take them down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now you can play this game at home. You don't have to have apples that look like this. You can just use circles for apples or any shape. You can pretend they're apples, and you can have your mommy print out a picture of you, and then just use some sticky tack or something and stick the apples on your head on a picture. Let's do one more before we go. Are you ready? Oh, I'm gonna pick one. It might be a good one. Let's see. It's number 8. 8 like a snowman. That's a lot of apples. Can we count that high? Do you think we can try it? All right, let's go. 8. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Uh-oh, is it going to fit? Oh my goodness. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, one more apple. Can we fit it? 8. 8 apples on top of my head. That's a lot of apples. I think they're going to fall. I don't think I'm going to keep them up. Help me count, taking them down. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 apples. Number 8 looks like a snowman to me. 8 apples on our head. Good job, everybody. You guys are great counters. You can do that at home. Like I said, you can print out a picture, and you don't have to have a board like this. You just use sticky tack and stick it on the wall, and use sticky tack to put the apples on your head, and have numbers. Have mommy write you numbers, or anybody, any grown-up can write you the numbers. Or if you're big enough and you know how to write your own numbers, you can do it. Good job, everybody. Next up, I'm going to teach you guys some things to do at home. All right? Hold up. I'm going to get my things. I'll be right back. Welcome back, friends. I went and got my supplies for one of our crafts today. I got some paper. You can use any kind of paper. I have construction paper. You can use bigger construction paper. You can use copy paper. The only thing with copying paper is it's a little bit thinner, so you might want to be careful with your paint. Let it sit and dry until you pick it up. I picked green paint, and I just spread it on a plate. And I picked some red paint and spread it on a plate. You can use any kind of paint. I just used tempera paint from our school and put it on our plate. You can use any colors. I just picked red and green because they're the colors of apples. You also can get your grown-up to get your apple, and you can cut it in half this way to get the star shape. Or you can cut it in half the way you might eat it across the top to get the apple the way it was when we saw the seeds. And one thing you can do, just pick up the apple like this. I was already using this apple to paint earlier. Dip him in the paint. Let me show you. Dip him in the paint like that. Give him a little swooshy. Make sure he has paint all over him. And then you just take your paper and press down, and you will get an apple shape. Now, you might get paint on your hands, so you might want to have some nice wipes handy. Or if you don't want to get messy hands, I know you guys have one of these in your house, a fork. Just take your apple, get a grown-up to help you, and just push it into the apple, and now you have a handle for your apple. And then you just take your apple, dip it in the paint. I can get him to come up. Get paint on him, and press down and paint. And you get another apple shape. And you still have paint on this apple. You can paint him again. And you can even overlap your apples if you want. It's up to you. It's your project. And you can keep stamping until you think, he doesn't have enough paint for me. I want to put more paint on him. But you just press down. Oh, look how little paint he has left. But it's kind of a cool picture when you do it that way. And just keep pressing your apples in. You can go back to the other color if you want. And you can use more than one color. Apple prints all over. And you can do more than one paper of this if you want. You can paint as many different apple pictures as you want. For this craft, friends, I went and got some of my supplies for this. I got some paper. Now, one of the things you can do if you don't want to cut the paper, I'll show you how we're going to cut it, but you can also have your grown-ups cut it into strips like this for you. but you're going to need some colored paper, whatever color you want, some scissors, and some glue. And then I have a paper that your mommy can print out for you. It says A is for apple, because apple starts with A. Apple. Now if you don't have this paper and your mommy can't print it out, that's okay. Just get a white piece of paper, draw a circle, because that's really the shape apples are. They're kind of circles. So you can just draw a circle, and if you want, you can write A for apple. Or you could write whatever color word you want to write, whatever color you make your apple. If you make your apple green, maybe you want to write green on it. So you take your paper, or the paper that you drew your apple shape on, and if you have used scissors before and you want to just cut snips out of a big piece of paper like this, take your scissors. Remember, your thumb goes in the top little hole and your fingers go in the bottom hole. That's important. Thumb up, thumb on top, and then open, close. You might need your grown-ups' help for this. So you can just, if you have a big paper, you can just cut some shapes on it. You just snip some shapes. I don't know if you can see how I'm just cutting some squares and some shapes until I get little bits of paper like this. You can make them as big as you want. You can make them as little as you want. You can make them even smaller, but you are going to be gluing them. So remember, you got to be able to put glue on them. If you had your grown-ups do strips, then you just remember, put your fingers in the top hole, your thumb in the top hole, and your fingers in the bottom. Thumb stays up, open, close. Take your strip, open it, get the mouth of the scissors in there, can you see them? And close, open, close, open, close, open, close. And then you get all these little bits. You can make them skinny like that, or you can make them fat like this. And then when you have your shapes, and you can do more than one color too. I picked red and green again for apples. Then you take your glue, put some glue on those papers, and glue them right on to your apple shape until your apple is filled with all those colors of papers. Now you guys can cut many more shapes and fill up your apple till it's all the color you want it to be, or more than one color. And use your good cutting skills. Remember, thumb on top, fingers on the bottom, open, close, keeping that thumb up top, open, close. That's good cutting skills for you guys. Good job, everyone. Okay, friends, the last thing I have for us today is a little paper that your mommy can print out for you, and to help you with our numbers. How we played our game with the numbers and putting apples on our head, on my head, and you can do that at home with your head. We can do apples numbers here too. Now, if you can't print this paper out, it's okay. I'll show you how to do it by yourself at home. We're going to just do one row, and you can do the rest with a grown-up or by yourself if you know how to do it, if you know your numbers. If you don't know your numbers, get a grown-up to help you. But right there is the number. And what number is that first number? That's right, it's number 3. So if you have this paper, you look at the number, and it says number 3. And now in this row of apples, you're going to color 3 apples. If you read the directions, it says, read each number. We read the number, it says number 3, and it says, color that many apples. So we're going to color that many apples. We said the number was 3. So let's color 3 apples. Get yourself a marker or a crayon, whatever you like to use, and color 3 apples. 1, 2, 3. So if you color 3 apples, it'll look like this. There's the number 3, and you color 1, 2, 3 apples. And then look at the other numbers. What number is that? It's number 1. You color 1 apple. What number is that? 2. Color 2 apples in that row. What number is that? 4. You're getting bigger. You have to color 1, 2, 3, 4 apples. And the last number is 5. And you count 5 apples and color 5 apples. Now, if you don't have that paper, if you can't print that out, it's okay. Just get yourself a regular piece of paper And if you know how to write numbers, you can do this. And if you get this paper, you can also do more by yourself. Write a number or have a grown-up write you a number. So I'm going to pretend that the grown-up's writing me a number. What number did I write? I wrote number 4. Now I don't have any apples to color, do I? But what shape are apples? Apples are like circles. So if you wrote, or your grown-up wrote, number 4, just do 1, 2, 3, 4 circles for your apples. And you can color in your 4 apples then too. And if you want to do more, then do another. Have a grown-up write another number, and do more. And see how many different numbers you can do. If you have a big number, like this, you know what number that is? I wrote a number 7. Well, I need to have lots of space to do 7 apples. I'm going to make my apples a little smaller. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, and then you can color them all in. So you can do this even if you don't have the worksheet like your mommy printed out. Okay, if you can't print it, just do it by yourself. It's all good. Well, I'm so glad you joined me today, friends, and I hope you have a lot of fun doing all the activities that I have for you to do if you get a chance to do them. We painted with apples, we used our scissors to cut paper and glue onto an apple, and we worked with our numbers. We did a lot of learning today. We learned all about apples, where they come from and how they grow. We learned shapes and we learned numbers, and you guys are so smart. One thing I want to ask you to do though is when you do your projects, your crafts, one of the things I want you to do, if you do any worksheets or any papers, practice writing your name on them, that you know that it's yours. If you can't write your name yet, have mommy help you write the first letter of your name. Or if you only know how to write the first letter, have someone else help you finish the name. But practice writing your name, because that will be very helpful to you when you get older, when you learn to write your name. Anyway, I hope you had fun doing all of those activities and learning all about apples. And it's time for us to go now. I enjoyed being with you. Hugs, kisses, and we'll see you next time. Let's sing our goodbye song. Goodbye, friends. Goodbye, friends. Goodbye, friends. We'll see you next time. Can't wait to see you again. Bye, everybody.